Well, it's morning time here for the launch of the Triumph 450. Now this model is very exciting to me because the 250 was so good to ride. Now we've got the 450, I imagine this will be just as good as the 250, but with more power. Now this bike's the Ricky Carmichael edition. Don't be fooled, this bike comes out stock and this is how the new 450 will be. They're not bringing two models out, just the one model, the Ricky Carmichael edition. And it has a few little goodies on it, which I'll talk you through later on. But for now, I'm getting geared up and ready to go ride this thing. It's going to be a great day down here at Parwin and with all the guys. This brand new bike from Triumph is the 450 model. Now, of course, you guys would have seen my review on the 250 not too long ago. So I was invited to come and do the 450 launch as well. Now, a big thank you to the guys at Triumph. It really is a pleasure and a privilege to come and do these launches. Loosely, they let the media come out and ride the bikes. But really, we're all just a bunch of motocross enthusiasts and dirt bike enthusiasts that just love throwing their leg over a new bike. So we're pretty lucky to get out here and we're really thankful. Let me talk to you about the bike. There's a few things that comes on this bike that I really like. Now, obviously it's an RC edition, so Ricky's put his thumbprint on it. The big thing about it is it comes with a gripper seat, some ODI handlebars, grips, a clutch cover that looks pretty trick, of course. And the big thing about this bike for you racers out there, and I haven't seen this standard on a bike just yet, is it comes with a starter button. Now that's pretty cool if you're a racer, you don't have to go out and do that. It's already done, no mucking around putting a starter button on it. Now, if you're old and intermediate, listen up because I'm going to tell you what I think about this bike. Let's break it down. First, it comes with KYB suspension, front and rear. Beautiful suspension, this works really well. Now, out of the box, no worries at all. It does take a little bit to break in, so we probably didn't see the best of it today, but as I've always said, when you get a dirt bike, and especially a motocross bike, first thing you want to do is get the suspension sorted for yourself. So suspension, I don't care, but the components I care a lot about, and this has got good components. The engine on the bike is fantastic. This engine has a real mellow feel to it straight out of the crate. Now this is what I rode stock standard, and then we played around with the buttons. It's got a lot of buttons with traction control, quick shift, which I'll talk about later. It also has a mapping button, which has got a mellow map on it. Now, it was too mellow for out here, definitely, but for you riders, it might be a little bit under the intermediate. I reckon it'd work well. And it also has launch control too. Now, obviously I didn't use that today because we weren't racing and I didn't think I'd want to use it, but for racers out there, launch control start button, you'll definitely get a whole shot. Now, some of the other things I can tell you about this engine. They've got a mapping system that just links up to the phone, so it's on an app. Now, the app, you don't have to subscribe to, you don't have to pay for it, comes with the bike, which I think is fantastic. It also has predetermined maps in it as well, and these maps really do work. If you push the one that you want, we tried the Ricky Carmichael one, that really lit up the bottom, and then it didn't have as much over rev at the top. So it gave you a lot more down the bottom, great for cornering and really getting out of situations. Now, this bike is a rever. You can make this thing rev to the moon. You can ride it in third gear just about anywhere around here and it'll pull you out of corners, get you up hills and get you going. The other thing I love about this bike is the ergonomics. I feel very comfortable on this bike, whether the bars are forward, back, wherever they are. I wasn't fussed at all. I just hopped on one of the bikes and rode it and felt comfortable. Now that's a real testament to a bike when you can jump on a bike and feel comfortable with the ergo. So you know what they call the triangle position on the bike is very well equipped. So riding this bike, it just gives you confidence. When you want to turn the bike, it turns really well. It doesn't stand up, it doesn't tip over, it doesn't jackknife or anything like that. Today, we had very sandy conditions, almost like riding in a deep sand out here because it was dry and the soil and the sand was moving all the time. And what that done for this bike is you could just plan it in, crack the throttle open and it would move, and it didn't do anything that you didn't want it to do, which I think is a fantastic thing. If you can get on a bike and feel comfortable straight up, you're doing well.
Personally, I liked the advanced setting the best. I just felt like it was a bit more usable power everywhere. I tried the RC setting as well. I just felt like in terms of the track as a whole, I preferred the advanced setting, and that was what I pretty much spent the whole day motoing. Once I locked that in, I loved it and just kept burning fuel and turning the laps. It was sick fun. I definitely just think the engine package and the frame, like that just works really well together, the comfort. I liked how balanced the bike was, and I just felt like it worked together really well as a whole, the bike, just engine to frame. I just felt like it was really planted, so just had a good feeling on the bike, and yeah, it was a really fun day out here.
Okay, so that was the first ride on the Triumph 450. Man, it's like a 250 with a lot of power. From when we did the 250 launch, it turns like the 250. Brake-wise, well, I can't tell you much about the brakes because the tracks out here are quite sandy and deep. So as soon as you roll off on a 450 and with the engine braking, you know, I'm not going fast enough to worry about it sort of pulling up. It just pulls up in the sand itself. Very minimal brakes you need to use. But the power-wise, it's got a real linear power. It's not a big hit from the bottom, and reminding you that I'm riding this stock standard. So this is what you would get when you get the bike straight from the dealership without touching any of the apps or any of the ECU adjustments or anything like that. This is just a stock standard bike. Now, my first impressions of the engine is it's got a lot of over rev, this bike. It's like I said, it's like a big 250. Down bottom, it doesn't have a big hit. Through the mid-range, it starts really pulling, and at the top end, it just keeps revving. I only had it in one gear all the way around this track, and that was enough for me. The suspension-wise, well, as you would imagine, it's still quite a little bit stiff because it's brand new, but I imagine once they break in by the end of the day, and once these guys have been doing big jumps on them, that'll break in and that'll free up the suspension quite a bit. It's KYB, so it's something that you can rely on, and I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. Any quirks do I have with the bike first up? Well, nothing really. All it was it had a bit of throttle slack in it, and I just left it how it was, so I'll adjust that throttle slack. I don't like any throttle slack, so I'll adjust that. Engine-wise, you know, it's fine. I'd like maybe a little bit more of a hit down bottom, a little more linear down the bottom. You do rev it and it sort of takes a little bit to spool up to get there. So that won't be a hard fix whatsoever. The turning on this bike, that's one thing I've got to mention about it is so awe-inspiring. If you really commit on this bike, it does what you want it to do. Some of these corners on the left-hand turns that I like, man, you just lay it down in the sandy sections and off you go. Give it some throttle. You don't even need to use a clutch. It's just raw, and it turns so well. It doesn't want to stand up. It doesn't want to pull out to the outside of the corner. It doesn't want to dive into the inside of the corner. Gee, I tell you, once you get a few hours on this bike, I can imagine you're going to get very, very confident on it. My overall impressions of the Triumph TF450 is it's a great bike out of the box. For these guys, first up, to hit a 250 and a 450 that rides this well is absolutely phenomenal. I can't believe that there's not something that I would say, I've got to change this. I really think everything on it, from the grips down, this bike has got everything that you want it to do to go racing or to go just riding at Ride Park like here. They haven't really missed anything on this, so I think if you're out there looking for a 450, definitely go out and check out the Triumph. It's well worth looking at because as an overall package, it's something they've really hit the mark on.